So funny story about Twitter is when I was starting Justin TV, I was friends with this, well, I'm still friends with this YC partner, Harj Tagger. He wasn't at YC at the time. He was starting a company, but he was living in Silicon Valley and he was working at the Twitter office in South Park. I think we wanted to go practice our pitch and they had a projector. So we like literally went over to the Twitter office to use like a projector to practice our fundraising pitch for Justin TV, me and Michael. And Harj was like, hey, by the way, you should like check out this thing called Twitter. It's kind of like what you're trying to do with Justin TV in a way. So there might be some sort of synergy. And it showed it. And the original Twitter was like you SMS the short code 40404. It was just a list of statuses, kind of like AOL Instant Messenger status. I saw that and I was like, cool, it's kind of cool. I was like, what do you use it for? It's like, oh, you know, everybody's like uses it differently or whatever. And so I signed up for Justin TV as I was like, oh, maybe we could use this while we're doing our show where I'm running around with a camera on my head and I can like tweet about what, you know, where we're at. Twitter launched in 2007, like right around the time when we launched our show. So we started using Twitter and we got to be one of the top 20 Twitter accounts pretty quickly. So at a certain time, Justin TV was like number 13 or 15 or something like that with 1,000 followers. We had 1,000 followers and that was like one of the biggest accounts on the site. And then after we shut down my show, we stopped like producing Justin TV. We just stopped tweeting on @JustinTV, but Twitter continued growing and eventually became a real company, it turns out. Later on, I remember Jack becoming an advisor to one of our competitors, Ustream. And I was like super sad about that. I was like, oh, because I always looked up to Jack. Yeah, Jack is great. He's brilliant in Silicon Valley. And Jack's given me advice on it a couple times. I think he's done a great job as CEO. It's like, if you look at of both Twitter and Square, like he's built this really amazing management team at Square, which I think is really building an incredible company. And I think he's like the proof that you can do multiple things actually if you're good at managing your time. Pretty impressive how he's been able to be the CEO of two big public technology companies for 6 years.